the most effective way that you can share your previous experiences with future employers is to use action verbs in your resume. These verbs will help to show the different types of competencies that you have, the variety of those competencies from things that you led to collaborations that you were part of to times when you followed a process very closely. And it helps to break up the monotony of a resume to avoid repetitive statements that all start with, I did this or I did that. You want to focus on the action that you did. And that's what this list of verbs that we'll share with you can do. So, where can you find a good list of action verbs? Let's go right over to our Brightspace page. Go to Module 8, Cover Letter and Resume Tips and Tricks, where this video is posted, and just below you'll see action verbs and resume action verbs. Open each of these up, and you'll see a laundry list of verbs that you can utilize in your resume. This here is a list of alphabetized ones, and then the other document is categorized based on different types of actions that you might be taking, such as communication or people skills, creative skills, or data and financial skills. And so, for so many of you, helping skills that you'll want to be able to include in your resume, but then also likely your cover letter too. So, let's take a look at a resume that uses these types of verbs. Here's my resume for one of the positions that I had during an AmeriCorps term. And you'll notice that each bullet point starts with one of these action verbs, talking about the performing of community assessments, conducting hundreds of one-on-one surveys, facilitated, managed, led, produced. All of these verbs are showing your capabilities to a future employer, and they're looking for a mixture of these, from the performed of saying that you can follow through on that task to led for when you took initiative to make something happen. Ideally, you are rotating these words around for each of these job experiences so that you can show that you've been growing in both your leadership, but then also in your collaborative efforts. Let's look back at a reflection example that I shared previously at a job I had in my past. This is a great place to start for identifying where actions were taking place. In my reflection, I shared my ability to work with other staff members. I talk about how I managed to make it through post-holiday cuts because I quickly learned to fill multiple roles. So in a resume, when you're talking about multiple roles, you're talking about cross-training. So you can include a bullet point in your resume, such as cross-trained in multiple areas of the store, if we were using this as the Barnes& and Noble example. If you right-click one of those words that you put in, you'll see that there's a recommendation for changing it to be spelled in a way that looks better in Word. So right there, we were able to convert a reflection into an action verb-oriented skill that's highly transferable across all industries.